Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sigbe. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to run online biometric fingerprint employee attendance system in PHP, MySQL, and VB.NET. So we are currently in the web version of the project. So what I'm going to be doing right now is just to show you a snippet of how this project works. This is the project name, Online Biometric Fingerprint Employee Attendance System in PHP, MySQL, and VB.NET. Okay, so we are back in the web version. So for the web version, we have the dashboard, employee attendance list, and attendance report. So currently we have this project in two parts. So we have the web version, we have the Windows version. And for the web version is developed using PHP. And of course, the Windows version is developed using VB.NET. And the database that I've used is MySQL. So what we are going to do next is to go back to our web version. Okay, so we are currently in the employee list page. So what you're currently seeing is the dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard, we have just a count of registered employee, enrolled finger armor employee, and attendance. Okay, so we are going to click on employee menu. So for employee menu, we have been able to register just one demo employee, just a single demo employee. Okay, so while testing the system, all right, so we have the add new or button. So I'm going to click on the edit button. Now for the edit employee um, page, so here we can edit the employee. Okay, so we can just edit whatever details that we want here and then just click on the update button and those details will be updated. So now we also have the delete button here. If you click on delete right now, that particular employee will be deleted. So now I'm going to click on add new employee. Now on the add new employee, you can enter the employee name, the job title. Now these are just list of demo job titles. Okay, so if you get the project, you are free, of course, to modify this and enter your own job titles. So typically this is just a snippet of how this works. So so what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to I'm going to click, so for the employee attendance list, which I've already clicked on it. So we have the report, that's for the attendance list. Here you can view the reports by date range. So you just select the from date and the to date. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to click on the view report. So once you click on the view report, you're going to have list of attendance that has been taken based on the date range. Okay, so just a snippet of how this works. So currently we are back in our PowerPoint environment. Now the IDE that I've used to develop this project, that's for the Windows version, is Visual Studio Professional 2017, and the code behind is Visual Basic, that's VB.NET. And then for the IDE for the web version, which is in PHP, is Notepad++. So Notepad++ is just a code editor for PHP. For this, you are free to use whatever code editor, PHP code editor of your choice to modify the project. So we're back in our Windows version. That's the Visual Studio Professional 2017, and as you can see, the project is already running. So this is our enrollment. I'm going to click on the the enrollment. Now the verification. On the verification menu, we have the time in and the timeout. Okay, so we also have the logout menu right there. So this is what we are going to be doing with the Windows version. That's to, you know, enroll fingerprint, um, take attendance, that's to clock in and to clock out. Okay, and then for this, once I enter a letter of probably an employee, and then there's an auto suggestion, okay, that will pop up. Now this auto suggestion makes it easy for one to search for a particular employee. So once I click on this employee right here, okay, I'm going to click on it, and then the employee ID will be automatically be populated on the employee ID text box. And then once I click on the start enrollment, okay, so as you can see, the this employee has already captured her fingerprint. Okay, it's a demo employee actually. Okay, so as you saw there, just 4 fingerprints were captured. So we have, I've tried to reduce that. Previously, all my videos on vb.net, I normally captured all the 10 fingerprint. Okay, so for this project, we are going to be capturing just 4 fingerprint. So 2 fingerprints from the right hand, and then 2 fingerprints will be captured from the left hand, making a total of 4 fingerprint. Okay, so for the clock in, that's under the verification menu. The clock in, once you place your hand on the scanner, the um, your fingerprint will be captured, and then it will be, compare or match with existing templates stored in the database. Same thing with the clock out form. So that is how it works. So attendance is taken automatically once your fingerprint match is found in the database. Okay, so now we have the logout here. So we are going to log out. Once we click on the logout button, we are going to, log out from this um, page. Okay, so now we are back to the web version of our project. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I've explained everything, so I'm going to click on that name right there, and then I'm going to, sign out, and then I'm going to, close everything completely. Then I'm going to show you how step-by-step guide on how to run the online biometric fingerprint employee attendance system in PHP and VB.NET. So the SDK that we have used in this project is DigitalPersona U.are.U 4500 reader SDK. So this is the scanner. This is scanner that I've used. This is currently the version 4500, and the SDK works with all version of the scanner. So but for me, I'm using the version 4500 of the scanner. So for the features, just like I've explained before, the web version, we can, register employee, edit or update employee, delete employee, view attendance report, view daily, weekly, monthly report using date range, and then total number of registered employee, fingerprints captured, and of course attendance taken. So quickly, I'm just going to, navigate to the next page where we are going to see the Windows version. That's the features of the Windows version. Here we have fingerprint enrollment. So clock in and then clock out. So typically this is what we are going to be doing with the Windows version of this project. Okay, so now what we are going to be doing right here is that we are going to stop this the Windows version of the project from running. Then I'm going to close everything. Then I'm going to show you this step-by-step guide on how to set up this project and get them running successfully. Okay, so I'm going to close the solution, and then I'm going to exit from Visual Studio, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to close it. I'm going to exit it, just waiting for it to be exited. Okay, so all right, now we have the Windows version of this project. Okay, this is the Windows version of the project. As you can see, now this is the web version. The web version is located right inside the local disk, XAMPP, htdocs, and then that's the project name right there. Okay, so that's the project name. As a project name. All right, so you need to paste this folder right inside this. Okay, so we have used a virtual server, which is a testing server. Currently, I'm using XAMPP. Okay, so you must get it running. Your Apache and MySQL PIDs and the port IDs and the ports must be running. So you will need to click on the start. If you haven't done that, you click on the start. Apache has started MySQL. So currently, once it has started, then the start buttons will change to stop, just like what you have seen here. Okay, so once you've done this, and then we are going to, get the project running. So what we are going to do right now is I'm going to click on the admin button under MySQL so that I'm going to show you how to create the database all from the beginning. Okay, so we are in the PHP MySQL, PHP MyAdmin homepage. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to take you back to the web version of the project, which is in XAMPP. Then I'm going to open the database folder. I'm going to copy the name. That's the database name. Of course, it must be the same. Okay, the name must be the same. Then we're going to go back to the web version of the, on the PHP MyAdmin homepage. Then we're going to click on new. Then under create new database text box, I'm going to paste this database name right there. Then I'm going to click on the create button. Now, because I have this database already, I cannot create multiple database with the same name. So I'm going to click on import to show you how to import the database. So we have browse your computer. I'm going to click on choose file. So I've clicked on choose file. Now I'm going to navigate right to inside htdocs and then open the database folder. Okay, and then I'm going to open the database folder. I'm going to click on that database name right there, and then I'm going to click on the open button. Click on the open button. All right, so the database has been attached. I'm going to scroll down and then I'm going to click on go. Now, since I have this already, I'm not going to do that, but for you, you're going to click on that go. So once you click on go, your database queries will be imported and all your tables will be live. Okay, so if I click on the database name, you're going to see all the tables. Once you see this, which means what you've done was successful. All right, so once you see this, and then you are good to go. So what we're going to do right now is that we are going to go back to the web version of our project, which is located in XAMPP on the htdocs, and then we are going to copy that folder name. That's what we're going to use to run in our web browser. That's the local host in our web browser. So we must copy it or enter it exactly the way it is to avoid errors. Okay, I've copied it. Then I'm going to go open new tab in my web browser. I'm going to click on add new tab. Then I'm going to type localhost / then I'm going to paste that my folder name right there. I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to hit enter key on my keyboard. So once I do that, and then the home page of my project will be opened for me. That's a login page. Okay, so I'm going to use a demo login details to log in right there. So under the username, I'm just going to type it, and then under passwords, I'm going to type it also. These are just for demo purpose, for testing sake. So I'm going to click on sign in button. So it's going to check if user exists. Okay, so if it does, then I'll be taken straight to the dashboard. All right, so I've explained before how all the functionalities, all the menus, how the web version of this project works. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is that we are going to register new employee. So I'm going to click on employee menu, and then what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click on add new employee quickly. Then I'm going to fill this form. We are going to use demo data to fill the form. So for the job title, I'm going to select that. And then for the email, I'm going to enter a demo email address. I'm going to enter that as I'm typing. Then I'm going to enter a dummy phone number just for testing purpose. Okay. All right. So that's the phone number for the demo employee. Then I'm going to select the photo. I'm going to click on choose file. All right, so quickly I'm just going to navigate where I'm going to select one of those demo photo or whichever photos that we are going to use to just for testing sake. I'm going to choose that. Okay, and then I'm going to check what I've entered. If it's okay, I'm going to click on save button. All right, so our record has been successfully saved. Now, that's the second record on the list. Okay, so we can also edit these details. If we feel what we've entered is not correct, we're going to edit it. And of course, we can also decide to delete it. And then we can also decide to, um, update the employee photo if we feel we update the wrong photo. Okay. So that is how this works. That's the employee, the demo employee that we've registered. So currently we don't have any attendance of the registered employee. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is that we are going to capture the demo employee fingerprint. Well, we are going to capture the employee fingerprint. So we are still in the web version of this project. Let's go to dashboard and see the counts, the total count. So the employee number should increase to 2, just like we have it right there. And then the number of enrolled employee just 1, and attendance taken is just 1. So just to confirm before we go back to the Windows version and capture our fingerprint. So what I'm going to do right now is that we've confirmed that. Okay, so we're going to go back to our Windows version of the project, where I'm going to show you how to open the project in Visual Studio Professional 2017. Just as I've told you before, that IDE is Visual Studio Professional 2017, and the code behind is VB.NET, that's Visual Basic. All right, and then we are going to go back to the folder of the Windows version. And then what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to, that's the solution file name. Okay, so I'm going to right click on it. Then I'm going to click, hover my mouse on open with, and then I'm going to navigate to Microsoft Visual Studio 2017. I'm going to left click on it once to open the project in Visual Studio Professional 2017. So I'm going to left click on it, which I've done that. And then this project is going to load in Visual Studio IDE. So it's loading. All the project files, all the project files are currently loading in our Visual Studio IDE. So we just need for, we just have to be patient a little bit and wait for it to load. So this can take a little time. Of course, depends on how fast your PC is. Okay, but it's going to load. All right, so just as I've said before, that for the Windows version, we are going to capture fingerprint, and then we are going to clock in, then we are going to clock out. So typically, this is what we are going to be doing with the Windows version of this project. Okay, so while the project is still loading in Visual Studio, you know, we are still going to be taking a look at some of these features that we have in this our project. Okay, okay, all right. So now it has finished loading. Okay, so I've clicked on Start. To build the project, just go to debug menu on the menu bar and then click on start debugging. Okay, so once you do that, and then the first form that will appear is your login form. So I'm going to enter a demo login credentials. Then I'm going to click on the login button. Okay, so once I click on the login button, it's going to check if such user exists on the database. So if the user exists, then access will be granted. Okay, so I'm going to enter that, and then I'm going to click on the login button. All right, so now I have clicked on the enrollment menu, and then we have the enrollment form right there. So that demo username user that we have registered, I'm going to search for that user, starting with the user first name. Okay, so for this we have used an auto suggestion to automatically suggest names of employees that already exist in a database. So once we enter probably the first second letter of the employee, as you can see we have an auto suggestion. Okay, on that, then I'm going to click on that name. So once I click on it, and then the employee ID will be populated on the text box. That's the employee ID text box. It will be populated on that text box. And then once that happens, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to click on the start enrollment. So for the start enrollment, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start with my right thumb. That's the thumb finger. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we're going to capture the just for fingerprint. Okay, so as I told you before, I'm using DigitalPersona U.are.U 4500 fingerprint reader, to capture my fingerprint. Of course, that's the SDK that I've used in coding. So each finger will be captured 4 times. So my fingerprint reader is already connected to my laptop. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place that finger 4 times, okay, on the scanner to capture my fingerprint. Okay, so I'm going to capture my right thumb. Then after that, I'm going to capture my left thumb, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to capture my my right thumb, my right index finger, and then I'm going to capture my left thumb, my left index finger. Okay, so I'm currently doing that right now. Okay, so this video recorder is not currently giving me what I want. So, but I've finished capturing the fingerprint. That's for the right hand. Okay, so just 2 fingers on the right, 2 fingers on the left. So I'm going to capture my you know index my left thumb. Okay, I'm going to capture my left thumb, then I'm going to capture my um my left index finger. So I'm going to place my hands on the scanner, then I'm going to capture it. Okay, so first I'm going to start with my left thumb. Okay, so I'm going to place it 4 times on the scanner, place it 4 times. Okay, so that has been captured. Then I'm going to capture my left index finger. So I'm going to capture it 4 times also. So you remember that most of my um, biometric software, mostly in VB.NET, I normally capture all 10 fingers, but I've been able to modify it to just capture 4 fingers or less. Okay, so for this project, we are going to capture just 4 fingers. That's what I have done right there, just 4 fingers. and any of those captured four fingers will be used to take tenders. Okay, so we are done with that. Now I'm going to click on the close button, then I'm going to close this window, this form right there. I'm going to close it, and then we are going to take attendance. So I'm going to click on the verification menu. Okay, so now we are currently in the web version of the our project. As you can see, we haven't taken attendance for the newly created employee. That's the Cletus demo. Okay, we haven't taken attendance. All right, so just to show you first, and then before we go back and take attendance for the newly created demo employee. All right, so as you can see, there's nothing there. There's no trace of any um, newly created employee. So I'm going to go back to my Windows version. I'm in the clock in form. So here I'm going to place any of the captured finger on the scanner to take attendance. So currently what I want to do now is to clock in. So I'm going to place any of the captured finger on the scanner. All right, so attendance has been recorded for me. So I've been able to clock in successfully. So before I close this form, I'm going to take you back to the web page. So I'm going to reload this page just to see that both web version and Windows version are working in hand, because there's just one database that we have. That's the MySQL database. So as you can see, that's number 2 in the list. The time in, that's the clock in, has been recorded, and currently we haven't clocked out. So the timeout is currently blank. So just watch this. The timeout is currently blank. So I'm going to, go back once again. For testing sake, I'm going to close this. Then I'm going to, take attendance for that's how I'm going to clock out. Okay, for testing sake, I'm just going to clock out. So now for me to clock out, I'm going to place any of the enroll fingerprint on my scanner. So any of the enroll fingerprints, I'm going to place it on the scanner to take attendance. Remember, I captured only 4 fingers. So I'm going to use one of those captured 4 fingers to take attendance. That's to clock out. I'm going to place that on my scanner to take attendance. Okay, so attendance have clocked out. Hello, Cletus demo. Your attendance has been recorded. So let's go back to our web version. So currently there's no timeout, but if I reload the page, of course, we are going to see that we have clocked out. So I'm going to reload that page right now. I'm going to click on reload. Okay, so we have the timeout. So we have clocked out, we clock in as at 18:27, then excuse me, then we clock out 18:29. Status is present. I'm going to click on attendance report. So for the attendance report here, we can filter report based on date range. Okay, so I've selected that. That's today, 3rd November. Then I've clicked on the view report. Then you have all the reports that all the attendance that was taken on this day have been, displayed on the report view. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like the video, click on the like button. Thank you so much for watching.